friends! How fare ye this fine midsummer's day? I fare quite well, actually. Thank you for asking. My name is Kathy Reynolds, and I'm coming at you guys with another fantastic story. Unfortunately, my co-hosts Newt and Tonks will not be joining me today because they got neutered yesterday, and they are high on painkillers. It's hilarious. Let's talk about fear. Everybody in the world is afraid of something. Fear of spiders, which is very valid. Fear of heights. Fear of dying alone and unloved. Fear of germs. Fear of being murdered brutally and painfully at the hands of a serial killer. So, what am I afraid of, you ask? 1. Arachibootyrophobia, which is not the fear of spider butts, although that is also a very valid fear. You know what? I'm gonna actually just add arachnophobia right in there too, because spiders are flippin' terrifying and I hate them. Arachibootyrophobia is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of one's mouth. It's a horrifying feeling. I am so validated in this fear because it just sucks. I hate that feeling. Like, I swear this fear stems from some childhood orthodontical trauma that I suffered. I'm serious. I had braces for 5 flipping years and headgear. It was miserable. To this day, I still have horrifying nightmares all the time about my teeth falling out or me breaking my brackets. Like, I swear to you, I must suffer from some sort of dental post-traumatic stress disorder. 2. Or would that be 3? Wait. Wait. Arachnophobia, because we established that spiders are terrifying. Arachibootyrophobia, because of my dental post-traumatic stress disorder. And so 3, it's definitely 3. Pseudonglophobia. That is the fear of cotton balls. I literally hate cotton balls. I hate them so much. There's just something awful about them. It's horrible. I hate them. Like, even just thinking about them makes my skin crawl. It's like they just make me want to turn myself inside out. It's just, they're horrible. They're horrible. This is what the internet has to say about pseudonglophobia. Pseudonglophobia is the fear of cotton balls. It is also called bambacophobia, where bambaki stands for cotton in Greek, while phobos means deep dread or fear. Normal people might laugh at those who are afraid of cotton balls. However, for a pseudonglophobic individual, this phobia can literally ruin one's life. The internet has spoken. 4. Severe social anxiety. I hate people. Wait, wait a minute, that came out sounding bad. There's nothing scarier on the face of this earth than walking up to somebody, especially somebody you don't know, and having a conversation. Because people are just so mean and judgmental. And sometimes clingy. And I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know how to deal with that. Literally all I want to do is make friends with people, but my brain is like, nah, man, they might be a serial killer. Mid-conversation, I work myself up into a panic, worrying about ridiculous things like, do they hate me? Do they think I'm an idiot? Am I stupid? Should I leave? I should probably leave, so then I leave. Okay, the worst thing in the entire universe is when you realize that you have said something and it sounded great inside of your head, but when you say it out loud and you hear yourself saying it, you realize that it just came out sounding really bad or inappropriate or just weird. And so you wish desperately that you could reach out and grab the words and then just bring them back in, or that you could, like, Men in Black mind wipe people or something. But you can't do that. You can't. You just have to live with the consequences. And then you look up and you see the face of the other person and you can just see the judgment in their eyes, and you know that you can't ever speak to them ever again. Here you go. Please enjoy your film. Thanks. You too. introduction, allow me to begin my story. This is a story that I swore up and down that I would take with me to the grave. But instead, I decided to make a video about it and put it on YouTube for everybody to see because the world needs to know. They need to learn from my mistakes. They need to go out and be better. Learn how not to tell a crush that you like them. This story takes place in the 8th grade. I was the youthful, spry age of 14. So there was this boy that I had a crush on. I had a crush on this boy for like 6 years. I kid you not. I literally had a crush on this boy from the 6th grade to the 12th grade. Like, I can't say that without it. I cannot make any way of that sounding normal. I just get really attached to people, okay? I don't like change. I can't unsay that. I just had this realization that I'm really good friends with both of his parents, and so they're probably both gonna watch this video, and that's gonna be really awkward. I'm not thinking about it. So in the 8th grade, I had no friends. Not just kidding, because I was way too cool for everybody else. Nobody was good enough to be my friend. That's why I had none. So I made the decision that I was gonna hang out with my crush and his group of friends. Pretty sly tactic, if I do say so myself. Every lunch, without fail, they were always out of the basketball court every single time. The only problem was that I was so socially awkward and anxious, the anxiety kicking back up, I was absolutely terrified of interacting with these boys. So what I would do, every game without fail, I would play basketball with them. Play. What that means is that I would stand in the court like a wooden beam and not move while they pranced around me, passing the ball like majestic, flippin' gazelles. Because I was so afraid of looking like an idiot, and I figured, you know what, if you don't try, you can't fail. Life advice with Kathy Reynolds. There was this boy in this group, and his name was Logan. I don't know how, but somehow, even with me just standing stone flippin' still in the middle of the court, I somehow managed to constantly embarrass myself. Constantly. And it always involved Logan. Every time, without fail, and I do not know why. There was this one time, oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing. We were playing basketball. Well, they were playing basketball. I was standing. I had taken my post, and Logan shoots a really nice three-pointer. Really fabulous. So I, waddled over to him, and I went to give him a congratulatory punch on the shoulder. Really, I have spent years thinking about this moment, and to this day, I cannot figure out what happened or why it went so wrong. So I go to punch him in the shoulder, and midway through the movement, my brain autocorrects itself, and I do not know how this happened or why it happened, but mid-motion of punching him in the shoulder, I autocorrect and I smacked him in the butt. It was so embarrassing because I didn't know what to do. In hindsight, it really wasn't that bad. I just made it out to be so much worse. I was so stressed out because everybody stopped and they all stared at me like I was some kind of freak. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have done a horrible thing. I literally felt like I just killed somebody. So naturally, I did the only thing I could think to do, and I got the flip out of there. Without a word, I turned on my heel and I walked into a building. I did not say a word to them for a week, which was really difficult because they were in several of my classes. But I made it work. It was so bad. I am dead serious. If somebody gave me the choice where I could either relive that 5 minutes of my life, or I could spend the rest of eternity casually prancing through the gardens of hell, I would choose to spend the rest of eternity casually prancing through the gardens of hell. That is how embarrassing it was. It was so embarrassing. At some point during the year, I decided that it was time to tell my crush how I felt. I wrote him a note. My handwriting is crap. It is so ugly. Like, I swear to you, when I write, it looks like a toddler scribbled all over my paper and then threw up on it. It's really bad. But this note was different. It was special. I literally spent 3 days calligraphing the crap. Calligraphy? Is that the right word? Choreography? Calligraphy? Which one is the map one? It was every single, like, girl stereotype in the books. I used a lovely pastel pen, and I did not write in cursive because when I write in cursive, it looks like a chicken pecked all over my paper. I don't know what not cursive is called, but I wrote in that, and it was really neat. I even went as far as to dot all of my I's with hearts. That was a well-written letter. It was so well-written. That was like some Shakespeare crap up in there. It was so good. Like, I swear to you, if I still had that letter, I would publish it in some kind of something because it was a well-written letter. It was beautiful. So the thing about this letter is that I did not address it, so it never actually said his name on it, and I did not, I also didn't put my name on it. It was completely anonymous because I both did and did not want him to know that it was from me. I think I felt like if he read it, he would know. Probably from the bad handwriting. I got out of class. I asked to use the restroom. So I walked over to his side of the building, and there was his backpack sitting out in the hallway. He's one of those people that would set his backpack down outside in the hallway, grab what books he needed, and then go to class. I am not one of those people, okay? It is a backpack, not a floor pack. That crap belongs on my back. It is my security blanket. I need my backpack at all times to feel okay. As I approached the backpack, I looked into it and I looked at my note and I contemplated my life and the eternities. To be honest with you, at the end of the day, I couldn't do it. I chickened out last minute and I decided that I could not give him this note. What normal people would do in that situation is either return to class, put the note in their bag, and wait until they worked up the courage to give it to him. Maybe give it to a friend and ask them to give it to him, or maybe just give up and dispose of it by throwing it in the trash or burning it. The second I decided not to give him this note, I was overwhelmed. I was bombarded with these just waves of anxiety, and I suddenly was terrified that he was going to walk out of class and see me hovering over his backpack with this note and think I was weird, and that he would be like, "You're super weird. I don't ever want to talk to you again. You should go die in a hole." I was afraid that maybe one of our friends would walk out into the hall and be like, "What on earth are you doing?" And then I'd have to explain myself, and I didn't want that because I'm really worried that I'm not as good of a liar as I think that I am. I was worried that a teacher would come out and be like, "Kathy, why are you not in class? Get your butt back in class." I could not let anybody know that I had written this note. I felt so strongly about that. I literally felt like a murderer. That sounded really weird. I had to dispose of the evidence. Nobody could know. Nobody could know. My thought process was, what if he accidentally discards a paper that he needs, and so he, goes rooting for through the trash can for this needed paper, and he comes across my note, and then he opens it, and then he reads it, and he somehow knows that this note was meant for him, and it was from me, and then he comes and confronts me about it, and what would I do in that situation? I also couldn't just put it into my pocket and take it back with me to class, because my thought process was, what if somebody is watching me right now and they see all of this and they know? What if they know? I have to make it look like I'm not doing what they think that I'm doing. I think I was borderline schizophrenic. I have to pretend like this note is for somebody else. I can't let anybody know. Nobody can know about this. Resting gently on the ground, right next to my crush's backpack, was none other than Logan's backpack. I did something that I regret to this day. I took my note and I put it in Logan's backpack. And then I turned around and went back to class. Literally, of all of the things I could have done, why that? Why that course of action? Why did I feel like that was the necessary thing to do? He literally spent weeks trying to figure out who that note was from. So that is the story of why I can never, ever, ever date or get married, because I may or may not have accidentally made some sort of like binding promise with Logan, you know, when I smacked him on the butt and then gave him a love note. I actually think he's married now, so I'm off the hook. We're good. We Gucci. I hope you all enjoyed that horribly embarrassing story, and I hope you all never do anything so stupid ever. Please don't follow in my footsteps. If you guys enjoyed that story, please do me a huge favor and tap upon that like button, because it seriously means so much to me. You guys are seriously the best people ever. I love you all so much. So if you guys like my content, if you have enjoyed either of the two stories I have told so far, you may click upon Dalek Jeff, and that will subscribe you to my YouTube channel, which will notify you every time I post a new video. Well, I hope you guys have a radical day, dude. My cat just shoved his whole face into my shoe. Put your face back in the shoe. It was hilarious. Yes.